So today we're going to talk about pets. I've been traveling with pets since I started RVing and I've learned a lot. So stay tuned so you can pick up on all my hints and all my tips on traveling, especially with multiple pets.
Looking at a self-made woman, you should know I got nothing for free in this life. None of us can know what's coming.
One of the first things that I did to my RV when I got it was I placed a protector on my screen so that my cat can't scratch the fabric of the screen, and I also installed a little hook and latch at the screen door in case Missy tried to scratch the door or push her way outside. As far as water is concerned, I like to provide Tupperware. I think Tupperware has been the easiest for me because I'm able to put a lid on it, and when I'm traveling I see it on the floor, I automatically put the lid on, and I'm not wasting water, because if not you'll forget about it and the water will spill, and I've had that numerous times, and I've tried different things, but this is the one that works the best for me. I also make sure that my pets always have fresh water every single day, because it's on the floor and I'm in a small space, hair gets in there. So you don't want them drinking all that hair. So what you do is you change the water daily. Make sure you're conserving the water by putting a lid on it when you're traveling so you don't have spilled water and you're not wasting water. For my cat, I like to keep the smaller Tupperware for her with the lid so I can just snap it closed and I can keep that water in the sink when we travel. It's easier for me to keep Missy's food also in Tupperware because she doesn't always eat all her food, and this way, if she doesn't eat all of it, before I go to bed, I can close the lid and store it right in the refrigerator and give it to her the next day. So when I'm feeding my pets, I have to have a place for my spoon. So I use an old Noosa container that I threw out, but I kept the lid. So I keep that always in my sink, because if I ever need to have a place to put my spoon that I've just used, and I don't want to keep my counters dirty, so I just use that. It's called the spoon rest. Okay, fans, I don't have to tell you, are a necessity if you have pets in your RV. Remember, they have a fur coat on them. So always try to keep them cool at all times with some kind of a fan in there. I know that when you're paying for an RV park, you leave your pets and you go and you leave the air conditioner on and everything is great. But have you ever thought about what could happen if your air conditioning breaks or the power goes out in the RV park that you're at because of some lightning storm or something, and you are like an hour away sightseeing? Well, this is why you should leave 2 cracks open in your RV, even though your air conditioning is on. Leave one towards the front, one toward the back or the middle of the RV so the air can circulate. What you don't want is a buildup of heat within your RV. You can also leave notice at the RV park that you won't be there, you'll be going out for a couple of hours, and you would like for them to call you if there was a power outage within the park because you have pets in there. Or if there's a neighbor or somebody that you've met, you can also leave them your telephone number. Let them know to call you if there's some kind of a problem with the power or anything like that in the RV park. Okay, let's talk about shedding. I have 2 vacuums. I'm on add-do vacuum, and I keep that one in the car. But I also have another vacuum, a small little vacuum that I keep always plugged in into my RV, and whenever I see hair or something that's out of control, I pick it up and I clean with that, and that's helped keep my RV nice and clean because I have a small space. You don't have to vacuum as much in a larger space, but when you're in a small space like me, especially when my kitchen is right in the zone where the cat jumps down, there could be some flyaways. So what I do on my kitchen counter is I clean them up really easily. Okay, let's talk about poopy bags, because they're a necessity when you have pets and you're traveling with pets, because most parks you're going to have to clean up after your dog whenever you go. So always keep one little baggie on your leash. You can find those at the Dollar Tree, you can find them at the pet supermarket. I keep several leashes. I keep one in my car. I always have one there for any emergency that I have to go out with my pet right away. I also keep 2 different kinds in the RV. I keep regular leashes for my dogs there, and I also have the extender leashes, so if we're somewhere where they can have more space to roam or walk further out, they're the roll-away type of leashes. The other thing I want to mention is leashes for a cat are very different than leashes for a dog. Not the same type of a leash. I bought my leash at Target. If you look at the leash that I have for Missy, it's a it's kind of like a bungee cord. Cats tend to jump up, and if they have the harness on, they can really hurt themselves if they jump up in the air with that harness that's pulling up against their chest. The bungee cord is what, it's kind of like a buffer for them when they jump up or something like that. It kind of buffers, so it gives you enough time to you can pull them back, but they're not going to get hurt with the harness. So make sure you get the appropriate type of a leash for your cat. Okay, as far as decorating is concerned, I did the best thing that I could with what I had. I removed, well, I didn't remove, I covered up my upholstery, my dinette with vinyl. And on the bottom, you'll see that I used a vinyl that conceals dirt. The top, I wanted a light color. I wanted to open up the space and make it light and bright and airy, but I didn't want to use a dark at the bottom seating because it doesn't conceal dirt. So this is why the backing is white and the bottom is a different color. Now, when you choose your vinyl, you may want to choose a vinyl that coordinates with duct tape, because I had a situation where Sasha scratched my seating and then I'm not able to find a duct tape that's the same color as the seating. So make sure that when you choose your vinyl, you try to find a duct tape that's very similar in color so you can patch up any tears. And trust me, your pets are going to make tears in your vinyl. Okay, my recommendation for pillows is the shaggier the better, because they're a great camouflage for any hair in your RV. I know that dogs shed, and they're going to shed, and great, you have a vacuum for that like I do, great, you clean it up. But if somebody comes in your RV, you don't want them to be looking at hair all over the place. So the shaggy pillows are the best, trust me. Okay, here in this cabinet, as you can see, I keep some pee-pee pads for my dogs, because if I know I'm going to be gone for over 4 hours, I set out a pee-pee pad for my dogs. My dogs are good dogs, but you never know. Here's a tip for you that I had once on my app. If you mix half a bottle of Dawn and half a bottle of vinegar and shake that up really well, now you have flea protection shampoo for your dog. When choosing a garbage can for your RV, make sure that your garbage can has a lid that seals well, because you don't want your dogs going into that. So let's talk about the famous litter box. I get a lot of people talking about the litter box for Missy. Yes, I know the litter box is up by my bed, but let me give you some tips on the litter box. Okay, the first thing is you do not save pennies on litter. On cat litter, you get the best cat litter that there is. And you make sure that you clean it every single day. So let me give you some tips of what I have learned so far. Where my litter box is, I keep some supplies. I keep some cat litter up there. Additionally, I also keep some extra in the bathroom. I keep my scooping spatula up there. I keep a can, an empty can with a lid. I usually clean my litter box during the day. And in the evening before I go to bed, if I go up there and I smell something, I have two options. Instead of bringing my trash can up there, I put it in the can. And then I put the lid on and I throw it in the trash. She decides to go in the middle of the night and it smells. I can throw it right into the can and put a lid on it until the morning, and then close it up and then throw it into the trash bag. So having an empty can next to your litter box is a great thing, because you can dispose of it immediately. You won't have to have any smells. Nothing's going to linger in there. You know, a lot of people talk about the litter box, but the thing is, if you go to friends' homes and they're being cheap with cat litter, that's usually why you can smell it. In addition to that, if you have multiple cats, you need to get cat litter for multiple cats. Read the labels of the cat litter that you're buying. It'll tell you what it's for, what it's not for. And that might be the problem, that you're having all this odor. I don't have odor in my RV. I have a slight odor when she uses the litter box. But if you're putting enough litter in the litter box, she's going to be able to bury it well. If you're not buying the right cat litter box, she's not going to be able to bury it, and it's going to smell. So I bought a cat litter box for multiple cats, and she is able to go in there and hide it really well. She's able to really get it in there under the litter so that it's not going to smell. You also want odor absorbing crystals in your litter, because you want that to also absorb the odor. I keep up the spice jar of baking soda up there also in that little area where I keep the litter box. And I also sprinkle, after I clean the litter box, I also sprinkle some baking soda inside the litter box. That also makes it fresh. Remember that every time that you use scents in your RV, your animals are also smelling it. So I try to keep things now nice and natural because I know that my pets are also taking it in. And something relaxing like lavender essential oils is a wonderful thing to have. Keeps everybody nice and calm, especially after a stressful day traveling. So I keep an essential oil diffuser in my RV, and I also have several different essential oils that I like. Okay, one of the best finds that I found for dog food on the road is Tractor Supply. I have been looking for good quality canned dog food, and I just was not finding it. And I've had several problems with Muffin, who's very sensitive in her stomach because she grew up on raw dog food. And sometimes I can't give her the raw on the road, but I struggled for a long time to find her affordable dog food that was really a good quality dog food. Until I discovered the 4Health, and it's usually around $1.20 for a can. It doesn't smell bad. It's made for sensitive stomach. They have some others for puppies and senior dogs, but this has been so great for Muffin. She has not gotten sick. I highly encourage you to go to Tractor Supply and check it out for your dog's dog food. So let's talk about keeping our pets healthy on the road as we travel. One of the things that I love is the Bach Remedy. All I have to do is spray that if they're stressed out because of their traveling, especially if you have a cat or a dog that's stressed out. Do your own research on it, but you can get it at a health food store, and if they're stressed out, you can spray a little bit in the air and make sure that they breathe it in, and that will usually calm them down. I always keep some in my purse. The other thing that I buy is Brewers Yeast to keep the fleas off, and they're not going to keep the fleas off right away. You have to be doing this over time. I've been giving them the Brewers Yeast, this particular brand that's here. I've been giving it to them for about 3 years now, and so far so good with the fleas. Triple Omega oil. These are just pills that I give my dog. What I do is I open it up and pour a little bit in each one of their bowls for the dogs because they're small dogs. And that just seems to be good for them. It's good for their coat, it's good for their health, and it's also good if they are constipated. For some reason, Muffin gets constipated on the road, so I have to give her oils. If I don't have that with me, I do give her some coconut oil that I bring with me in the RV. I also put some coconut oil in her food so that way she's not as constipated. After I had some problems with Muffin's sensitive stomach is some Flora, which is an acidophilus. And I bring the pills with me because they're easier to store, and I could take it or I could give it to them. I open it up. I don't give her the whole thing. I give her a little bit and then I close it back up, the capsule, and then the next day I put a little bit more. And that helps a lot when they have a stomach infection or anything that has to be stomach related. Another thing that I swear by is Colloidal Silver. I've been using it for years. I'm a big fan of it. I've gone through a lot of scares with my dogs, and this has always helped me in a pinch. Any type of infection that they get, usually it works. Do your own research on this stuff. Of course, I can't account for anything other than what I have experienced, but I hope you will go ahead and investigate. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned because I have part 2 of this video coming up, which is things that I use in my automobile for my pets that make my life a lot simpler. And I'm also going to share with you a tip that I posted on my app a few years ago when I was doing the app, and that's how to make a no-sew bed cover for your pet bed so that you can do limited laundry when you're on the road. So stay tuned for that. Have a great day. Bye. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, and please subscribe.